Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Omar, and this is my first ever playthrough of Your Turn to Die. And we have Guitaro over here resting up a little bit after this. I figured that treatment alone wouldn't. It's all right, Sarah. Guitaro. And then we have Mai on the ground. Mai's completely motionless. Even seeing her like this, I can only picture her as human 100%. It makes sense. A great situation. Not a great situation, you know what I mean? It was a great moment, I should say, in the story. No need to... Oh my... We just clicked on move and Midori starts speaking. Tag is over. He put on the spare collar. Showing yourself as boldly as always, gonna flaunt that gun again? No, trust it all? Fine, I'll give it to you. Midori took something out of his pocket and tossed it towards Keiji. Would he just gave him his little, like, 6-shooter? What? Why? Why? This is... What? What? It's Keiji's gun? That's so brutal. What the hell? Why do you have the one? Wait, it's the one from the actual... Jesus Christ, that is brutal. It's the one from the murder. What is it? It's the one from when he freaking shot the unarmed dude. Why do you... Did I bring back some bad memories? Midori is insane. Midori is absolutely insane. So that's why you sought to join the force. Then was your goal to become a friendly neighborhood policeman? Oh my god, man. That... As we've acknowledged, like, Keiji was 100% in the wrong for that entire situation. It was murder, right? But you have to look at the mindset of this game and the people who run this game and Midori in general as well. Hiyori. The idea of just like tossing a gun that was used in one of the most like craziest moments of your life just to make him feel tortured. It's like they don't care about the morals of it. They're not thinking, oh, this is Keiji, you did something wrong, right? That's one thing if they were like, you did this. You did something wrong. That's not why he's doing it. It's to torture. No, I just want to return it as promised, his good luck charm. Then go give it to him. If he's still police, you'll see him soon. Right, his name was... Huh? That won't be possible? What do you mean? He left... Oh my god, he just left the force when like, just... Holy hell, so like... Imagine like you joined the force just to meet this dude and then he leaves. Which again, it happens, like it's very realistic. Even though he had his child, I suppose he took another path. It's very realistic. It is super realistic. That, like, you know, they're not always going to stay in the same static path, you know, forever. This person you look up to as, like, this police officer is going to be a police officer forever. He's the best police officer ever. Like, he's going to take a different path. What do we do here? That guy, huh? Yeah, he quit, sure enough. So he was your coworker? Yeah, but I wouldn't get involved with him. What is happening here? Huh? It's hard to say here, but he was fired for trying to expose a certain darkness among... Oh my god, so was he trying to expose the commissioner? He was always devoted to justice, so he could just be a parent his kid would look up to. A darkness? What exactly was it? Don't know, if I did, I might get fired too. But who had him fired? Miss McGee, that makes sense. So she's been... This is what we said. If she'd covered up one crime, she's going to be covering up many crimes over time. You keep an eye on her too, as long as you want to stay with the police. So like she's been covering up many things before as well, and obviously like the police officer that he followed, the person that he looked up to, was fired. But in her eyes, left, right? Because he was snooping around too much. That is crazy. Do we just keep clicking on Keiji? So yeah, there was more corruption than ever there as well. We just keep clicking on Keiji, I guess. Calling all units, the suspect has a gun. No civilians present, you are authorized to fire. Don't let him flee the scene. There's nowhere to run, drop your gun. Damn it, he's lost his cool? I'll fire a warning shot. We need to stop him. Watch out, he's gonna shoot. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Huh? That can't be. This shouldn't have happened. I was aiming for... So he was aiming maybe for his arm or his leg. I'm alright, but at the suspect... Huh? I shouldn't have noticed. I should have seen his face. I shouldn't have seen his face. What? No. The suspect he killed was the old police officer? What? That is so crazy. How does that even... What? No freaking way. Turns out the criminal didn't have a gun. But they said Keiji shoot. It's like they almost wanted him to be the one to shoot. Because there's no way the commissioner didn't know who that was, right? There were no witnesses, so Megumi used her position to suppress the incident. That's so brutal. The reason you became a police officer is the person you kill in the end. And the police officer that was with him, maybe his partner or something, said shoot. And he was aiming for another body part. This is such a crazy situation. Because now we have obviously added context to a lot of the situations that are happening here. I want to make it clear at the baseline, it's your job as a police officer to be aware of your surroundings. And it's your job to be aware of the threat that's in front of you. And to understand the threat in front of you and make a decision based on the threat in front of you. I want to make that clear. So like, it's not like we're sitting here being like, oh, now it changes. Like Keiji didn't, do a murder. It was a murder. And Keiji's not denying that. Keiji knows this. This isn't a situation where we're trying to make Keiji out to be like, oh, poor baby in that sense. So on the baseline of this equation, let's say it's a math equation. It's no matter what, it starts off with Keiji murdered someone because he was unaware of his surroundings. This person didn't have a gun. The person that he shot, who he looked up to, wasn't going to be able to kill him. And again, it's your job as an individual police officer to be able to be aware of your surroundings regardless. It is. It just is. You can't have people on a police force that look at someone who's not holding a weapon and be like, bang, bang, and choose to execute someone because you're scared. That's not how it works. It's just not. The thing is, though, as well, what we're adding to this now is that he thought he was aiming for a body part and he missed. So it was, even though it's still wrong, it was an accidental shot. He didn't mean to kill this person. Not only that, there is a pressure, an added pressure from maybe your senior partner or someone beside you saying, he's got a gun. And in those tense situations when he's chasing after someone, all of a sudden it's like, oh, what? To try and disarm him. I think that what Your Turn to Die is so done masterfully about this again is they're not asking us to sit here and exonerate Keiji of anything. They're adding layers to this situation that is already... Keiji knows that this situation is already horrible. He knows that he, in an unaware fashion, did something that you shouldn't do. The game's not trying to shy from that. But they added layers to this to show us on the other side of things what has happened here as well. She wanted to hide the murder of a subordinate as self-defense. So again, she wanted him out of I say she wanted him out of the picture then. Completely. Why do you know? How much of a grasp do you have on the police? How much indeed? That's a scary way to answer it. Enough to feed false info about the... Wait, what? And enough to insert a fired policeman into your... Wait, what? What do you mean? Oh my god, he's watching... Is he saying he inserted memories into Keiji? I'm confused in that. Did he actually shoot the person he... I'm so confused in that then. He's gonna shoot, that's horrible. Just as good as an actor as it was. Wait, that was him who said it? So he was on the force with Keiji? So like we said last time, there's a possibility that they could be... That he could have been in other people's lives as well. Do you think he did interact with people's lives in that way as well? Holy hell. So that's it. I'll kill you. Oh my God, Keiji. Because I'm kind of like, so did that actually happen in real life? Or is he saying, because my estimation is he was one of those people who was there on the force, who gave the false info about the gun, which led Keiji to aim for him and try to shoot him. And he somehow also was able to be aware of the fact that Keiji looked up to this person as well. I'm gonna kill, oh my God, we've never seen Keiji like this. You seem motivated. No way. We're doing a minigame with him? With this music as well. That's what I'm thinking happened. I don't think it's maybe implanting memories in it. I think it's literally he infiltrated the police. That is like, can you imagine how insane that has to be? You take someone down to the stuff that they care about the most. The person they look up to. The person they're trying to find. And you say he's gonna shoot, and he says, and because he said I was a good actor back then too. He like infiltrated the police station. That's what it sounds like to me. How nice hatred is. It lets me satisfy a person. Now you die, Midori. Let us play the greatest of stages. This is crazy. Because I hope that's what it is. Not a hope. I'm saying I think that's what it is. I'm sorry. I'm in shock. I'm sorry if I'm not speaking a lot here, guys. I'm like, maybe I am. I'm not even aware. It's just so hard to wrap my head around. Like, is that how influential they are in this world? That not only could they infiltrate Shin's life, but also maybe Keiji's too. Which we said that's a possibility as well, right? That's how they're doing their documenting and stuff. That's playing the greatest of stages? What do you mean? What is this? Graveyard for broken dolls? Well, he lit everything up. Oh my God, he's so scary. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Come on, Keiji, let's work together to corner him. Did he just light this place up and that's what this place looks like when it's not in the dark? By the way, that means he could have infiltrated a lot of people's lives then. Not just Keiji's. He gave him false info about the gun. He told him to shoot that day. And here's the thing, I want to make the, as I said, like, it's up to a police officer individually to be aware of their surroundings, right? It just is, right? You have so much of a responsibility when you're holding a gun in your hand. You do, right? But what I'm saying is, feeding false info to a police officer like Keiji that this person has a gun. We know factually in our life, and again, it doesn't excuse it, it has literally gotten people killed as well. And again, it doesn't excuse it, because there's been plenty of times people are like, oh, the person has a gun, and then this person will go on and do something, and it's like, and it's still the fault of the police officer for not being aware of their surroundings, right? But that doesn't mean we can't acknowledge the manipulation that has gone on here that is very intentional to get him into this position to do this. It is a direct manipulation to get Keiji into a position where he felt that he needed to shoot at that time. That's just factual. And when I say like it happens in real life, I'm not saying people like someone goes like, "Oh, I bet he has a gun." I'm saying that like they will get calls from people who are just nosy people and be like, "Oh, this person has a weapon," right? And it gets people hurt really badly because then the people show up and then there's terrible police officers who don't think about anything and all they think about is like, "Oh, we just gotta stop him," and they might have had like a freaking stick or a ruler or something. You know what I mean? It's happened before. I'm not even trying to do soapbox here. I'm just saying factually so. Like, of course this would get someone killed. Like, Jesus Christ. It's so insane. We have 3 people active here as well. This is brutal. Keiji, Keiji, Kano will block his escape. Please tag Midori. Oh my God, she's so sweet. So we have a tag suggestion. Ain't no need for compassion. Shoot Keiji. Oh, to shoot him? I think that's what maybe Midori wants in a way. I'll look for someone to use as a weapon. Meow. Should we try blocking his escape first? But I don't know if Kana's going to be able to do that, but oh, she's so sweet. You think she'll be able to do it? It's no use, he's too fast for Kana to keep up. You need to work together more. Oh, wait. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Dummies, won't you assist? Hold on, if Midori really dies from tag, what's going to happen to us? That's the question, isn't it? Because they're also involved in this too. can say we're unified, but Keiji seriously aimed to kill him. But if we lose, Keiji will... So we have to find a way not to kill him, but maybe subdue him? Midori isn't paying attention to me. I'll go approach from his blind spot? Maybe? Oh my god, Kotaro! I'm close. It's okay, I won't let him notice me. Give me the signal when it's a good time to grab his leg. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Keiji, it won't turn out very well if you shoot me in anger, you know. Again, mocking him. Midori kicked the doll's head that was lying around at Keiji. Keiji took a direct hit from... Oh my god. And again, just like the disregard for the dolls too also sends a message to the dolls also like, you're indispensable to me, does not care. It shows he's willing to do anything to these dolls. Keiji. Damn him, Midori. Keiji's not in good condition. I need to calm him down. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll try. Oh my god, he's in a brutal state. I can still do this. He's in a brutal state. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Dummies, fight with us already. See, it's tough for them. Even though we're united, and again, this game is so realistic. Even though we had this united front just a few minutes ago, it's still a thing where these characters are thinking, well, if Midori dies, are we dead? You know? It's so accurate to how people would be thinking. Suits and specs. Oh, and Gin looks up to him so much as well. So we have him at the ready. What was your one again? I'll look for something to use as a weapon. Ain't no need for compassion. Yeah, I don't want to go with this. Let's try this. Okay, we grabbed his leg. I've caught you, Midori. You won't escape. What? Kotara's restraining Midori with all his might. Okay. Kotara's grabbing Midori's legs. So... Can we... Yes. Maybe we should have done this first. Oh my god, it's so... Oh, shovel! Well done, Gin. Use this. Obtain a broken shovel. There's no use as a weapon? I'll look for some... Oh no. I thought maybe we could hit him at that point. I'll do it again and again. So we need to restrain him again? Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Oh, we might be in trouble this time. Why don't you give already and tag Sarah, Keiji? So, okay, what's the best option here as well? Because, like, I don't want to just shoot him, right? I think maybe trying to find a weapon and then restraining him. Right? So maybe if we get to try and find a different weapon. A torch on the wall. No. Oh, did you hurt your hand? Tend to burn me with it? Don't bluff, seaweed head. All creatures are weak to fire, meow. I'm a doggin. Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. Sure enough, I can't cooperate with you. I don't want to die. Everyone stop this. Hanzu. Again, it's just completely normal that they would feel this way. So we can restrain him and then we can try and block him. So maybe we try and restrain him one more time. Possibly. Give me a signal. Yeah. And then maybe we try to, like, when we restrain him, we try to block him. We're nearly out of time, you know. What would you do, Keiji? This might be a death for me, guys, because I think I failed too many times here. What about Gin here? It's a broken shovel, so we can't really use it as a weapon. Let's go with Keiji grabbing his leg. Again, I think this might be just like a death or something. Or a game over. What if we try and... Since he's not fast anymore, why don't we use... when we ask Kana... Kotara's grabbing Midori's legs. Kamada stopped Kana? Oh no. Nothing else I can do, right? So if we lose Keiji... Oh, this is so bad. And then we lost him again. Midori and Keiji are staring each other down. So our fun game of tag is over. Wait, no, it's done? Oh, what do we do? What do we... Again, I think... See, I don't want to shoot because I feel like that's not gonna be good. I guess we can go with this again, but like, I feel like I'm just failing doing this over and over again. Yeah, this is tough. Keiji's color started acting differently as well. I'm trying to think here, like, what could, like, is it... Because it seems to be changing things over time, right? Like, the characters are interacting with us more, so I wonder if it is a progression thing when we need to keep progressing, just keep doing things, because 3 of these guys have talked as well. Oh no, have we gone too far? It's over. I think I failed. Is this game over? Like, is he dead just for real now? No way. There's no way. His face is pale, he loses balance. No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. This must be a game over. Our dependent Keiji is trembling. No human can beat the fear of death. No. I don't want this. I can't do anything? That's the one thing. The only reason I was doing that was like legitimately because like it could literally give. I was thinking that would give us a game over instead. What are we doing? That's one thing I don't want to do. Keiji in the coffin. What? Oh, that's so brutal. This is a game over. We can do this again. There's no way they're gonna have this happen. There's no way. Let me out, Midori. No, please. No, Keiji, there's no way. I'll let you in on something neat, Miss Sarah. These coffins come with a very handy feature. They can... No, stop. I'm so frustrated, please. Not frustrating like, oh, the game is bad. I mean, in a way that's like, oh, I'm frustrated with myself. You mean he'll be burned? Please stop. The time is already running. If you aren't quick, oh, God. So we have to find a way to, like... So we still have a chance? Mr. Policeman's gonna die. So here's my suggestion as floor master. I never said the losing tag meant... What? Oh, you did... I guess you didn't say it exactly. Wait, so this isn't... I thought this was going to be a game over, so like Keiji actually can die? If you just hear out just one wish of mine, I'll tell you a way you can save Keiji. What's the wish? What wish? What's your wish? I'll have you sign that consent form. What the hell? That's so scary. That's so scary. That she is the last one, but for what? What's the consent for? Once you sign it, it'll be complete. The last one? There's definitely something up. What other choice do I have? There's no other way to say Keiji. The rest is up to you. I feel sick. Answer my request and save Keiji. Or stick to your intentions and kill Keiji. What? Choose whichever you like, Sarah. What? Is this actually at the end of a... Wait, is this actually it? That's supposed to happen? Or is it just that we failed and this is like an option of things that can happen? That... Guys, I'm sitting here like in a different world. How's that even work? How did, like... So was it supposed to happen? Was it not supposed to happen? Did I fail? Did I not fail? It's dark. Where is this? Oh, is that Keiji in the coffin? I want out of here. That's why did I join the police? That's so scary. That's a fear I think we all have as well. Well, I guess you could say I was looking for something. Let me out of this cage. What am I going to name my kid when he's born? Oh my god, and then there's the person he looked up to as well. It's got to be a good manly name you can trust. Get me out of this darkness now. This is a top 10 like fear of anybody. I think there's not one individual who doesn't have this fear of being buried in a coffin, being trapped in a coffin. Like this is it's not something we think about all the time, but like when we see it, it's like, oh my god. Like instantly it hurts your heart. It makes you feel sick. It makes you feel icky. Let me out. Oh, and look at his face as well. Terrorizing, right? Let me out of here. Oh my god, and just like the way Sarah saw Joe, right? And again, seeing Keiji like this as well is so rare also. Don't be so quick to resort to punching. Surely I taught you that. It's him, so that's whose fault. Because remember, Keiji said that he has similar stuff as well. That's so scary. Like he could relate to. Didn't he say he could relate to Sarah? Oh my freaking god! That is one of the most horrifying images ever. It's so, like, and we know how it feels, right? As a character who played as Sarah, right? We know how it feels. Like how tormenting this must be, how terrifying this must be. Can we just get him out of here, please? Can we, like, that is so horrible. Because again, the game knows that we don't know how this feels, and we just see the shaking of the coffin there as well. The game knows we know how this feels. Oh, the coffin went silent. No, please, please. So you finally settled down. It's so insulting as well, right? Intentionally so, like, insulting. Oh my freaking god. He must be awfully scared of his... Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be afraid of this? Guys, and maybe it's just the culmination of all things. I'm sorry if like I feel like I'm like out of sorts right now and I feel like I'm not even talking properly. Like, the reason why this is so hard-hitting, obviously, is someone's trapped in a coffin. Obviously, someone's going to get burnt alive. But it's also the fact that this feels like, once again, like, drives home how bitter and evil this organization is and how awful Midori is. This wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to set, like, I'm saying, like, if it was a thing where we're going to put your friend in a coffin and we're going to turn on the switch and we're going to set him on fire, right? You know, like a freaking furnace would be. Like a furnace, you just turn on a switch and it sets him on fire, right? This isn't that. That's already horrible. It's already horrific. This music's great as well. It's already horrific. But it's also the fact that, like, he intentionally tortured Keiji emotionally so that when he was trapped, not for this, but now that he's trapped in this box, because he just experienced this, there's no escaping this, like, shadow that's following him. Because he was reminded so bitterly about everything just right before everything happened. He went from being reminded of that day and all the stuff that happened to him and all the stuff he did. I want him to hear all the stuff he did, and then having a bloodlust wanting to kill this person, and then getting trapped in a claustrophobic box with nobody around him, waiting for death. This is emotional and physical torture on a level that is absolutely brutal. Why did this happen? Keiji lost the fight against Midori, and now he's trapped in that center coffin. Since the dummies' lives were on the line, they weren't able to assist us. Because now there's a rift between us and the dummies. Man, and we felt so good with that combination with this together. We felt so good. What can we do? So now we're in this situation where Keiji's in this coffin, tormented emotionally, about to be killed. And we're also, and again, this is why Return to Die is so good at creating this like tension-filled room. Not only is it Midori is this evil character who we hate, who we're scared of. Not only is it there's someone we know and someone we've been acquainted with for so long in this box in front of us as well. Not only that is the onlookers of like our of Gin, Reiko, Kotaro, and Kana here. It's also this entire room full of like dummies who don't want this to happen, who don't want this to take place, who clearly like have a heart, or at least like their consciousness as like as morals. But they can't do anything right now because if they do, it's death, possibly, if Midori dies. Big sister, what do we do? We have to save Mr. Policeman. If only the dummies would have helped, it wouldn't have come to this. And that's the thought process everyone's going to have, isn't it? At this rate, Keiji will get executed. Well, yeah, we need to figure out something. But obviously, we want to talk to everyone as well. It's not our fault. I know it's not your fault. Legitimately, I'm saying this right now. I know it's not your fault. It's Midori. I know it's not your fault. Oh, our buddy Ranmaru. He doesn't even want to say anything. Keiji. I want us all to get along, but we can't. And that's the thing. That's what the problem is. It's a bunch of characters who want to get along with us, who don't want this to happen to Keiji. They don't want this to happen to us, but it is happening to us. You know? It's not that we want to antagonize you, but I agree. I know you don't. That's what's even more painful. Why this happen? Midori's looking away gleefully. Prepare. So I wanted to see if we can talk to Keiji for a second before we do anything else. Keiji's locked inside the center coffin. No good, it won't open. So we have to talk to Midori. Yeah, again, Return to Die masterful at what it does. I talked about this in like a comment as well. I think about talking about the video too. Like the way that Return to Die does things so amazing. It's like hope, pain, hope, pain, hope, 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 pain. Like it's this way they do it. Like what makes every single moment so impactful. So this moment when we all joined together was beautiful. And almost an instantaneous moment later, Midori ruined that for everybody. And now, once again, the dummies and the people here are at odds. But it's like this time around, the odds are like it's a blockage. It's like they want to help us, but they cannot do anything. They cannot do a damn thing right now because they're so scared of dying as well. Should I save the game? Because I haven't saved since like before this or whatever. I've probably saved the game. I haven't saved since we started the episode. Midori's looking away gleefully. Talk. Yeah, I'll talk to you. So much for your show of pretending to get along with the dummies. No. This is what's so crazy, right? I get what he's saying here when he's saying that like, oh, it's all for show. Like, this is the equivalent of like, and it's a bad analogy, I know it's going to be. This is the equivalent of like two people who like argued for years, all of a sudden got back together, and then someone came in the middle of them and said, but hey, are you sure you're okay with like this dude, like, you know, he kissed your, you know, brother, dude. He kissed your older brother, dude. And you're like, and all of a sudden they start fighting again. You can't just be like, so much for that. It's like, you dropped gasoline on the fire. You did this. It's like, yes, of course, in this situation, I know, I get it. It's not only he that like really did this. I understand that it's also like the dummies were going to probably like hit this roadblock eventually anyway. But it's the roadblock that's been imposed by the Anasaru and Hiyori is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he intentionally was like, oh, let's come in and ruin this for everybody. He knew that they wouldn't be able to do this because they were scared of dying. And that's the thing. It's like that's like, you know what the better analogy would be? Let's say you have two people side by side with each other and they're best friends, and and a killer comes in and goes, I'm going to kill one of you, right? One of you is dead. And all of a sudden, two friends who love each other, excuse me, still a lingering cough, start beating each other up to get that gun. Then in the end, one of the friends shoots the other friend. And then the killer goes, I knew you weren't friends. It's like, what? You put the nicest people in a position where they were terrified for their lives. Excuse me. Everything changes. Everything. Really feeling it today, guys. Ask how to save Keiji. Let Keiji out of the coffin. I told you there's only one way to save him. Just sign this and I'll tell you. Hold on, I don't even know what this says. No time to worry about that, surely. The coffin's execution timer's already ticking down. This again, great artwork, but it's terrifying eyes. By the time all the sand has fallen, he'll get torched. You'll be, oh my god, you'll be smelling like delicious Keiji steak. Again, adding insult to injury. They love playing around with this stuff. They love messing with their minds. This is, again, like just like the game of tag turning into a brutal murder. It is an aim to almost take like comedy and make it into something that's kind of like insulting and disgusting and makes you feel icky, right? Someone laughing in your face as you're feeling pain. Again, great artwork. It's hard to look at because of the scary eyes and seeing Sarah upset, but like you can't deny how amazing the artwork is in this game. It's so good. I can't wait. It's my first time using this fancy new coffin. And you see, they're excited about it. They're gleeful about it. It's something that's like super, super happy for them. I wonder how he die. I won't let you execute him. You can't. Then let me hear your answer. Midori is serious. That consent form. In essence, it must be a oh my god, agreeing to whatever might be written there. I mean, I know it's a very horrible way to put it, but in a way it's like she's probably thinking like worst case scenario, like no matter what it is, I have to agree to whatever is there. Like I don't know what's there. What? I mean, we'd sign it, right? Abandoning Keiji seems like horrific. But what does this do to Sarah? You know? Like, obviously I'm leaning towards the idea of signing it. But, like, I'm worried that could do something. Like, you know, what's that going to do? I think we have to sign it. I know it's like, again, I feel bad because we're playing as Sarah, but also I feel like an outer body protection over this gal too, but I feel like she would, if we're actually talking to Sarah, I feel like she would sign it. You know what I mean? I'll sign it, so hurry up and save Keiji. It's the only choice I can make. So, well, I agree to what? If signing this paper I can help, then I agree to what? Wait, what? Huh? Ranmaru! Oh my god, Ranmaru ripped out the paper! Oh my god! Ranmaru! He literally ripped out the paper right in front of us! You tore up Ranmaru? Oh my god! Mr. Policeman! Ranmaru ripped up the oh my god! That's bestie! That's our new bestie! Oh my god. What's this? What is that? Oh, it's the hourglass. I was like, what is that? It looks like a teddy bear. Oh my god. So in that moment, like right as we're about to sign, and Ranmaru comes over and goes, no. Rips it up. Oh my god. Please explain yourself. This is just cruel. Do you not even care about saving Keiji? Maybe so. If we killed Midori now, we dummies would die. Objective incomplete. But then Keiji went and picked a fight, knowing that full well, didn't he? So, as we said, this is a fair response to be like, listen, and you know, Keiji was not in the right mind. Let's make that clear. But from their perspective, it's like, hey, you're saying you wanted to save Keiji, but this guy picked a fight with someone that would have killed us. So how do you think we felt in the moment? He's getting his justice. No, that's not true. We don't take that. So you want him to sit there and get executed? As I feared, our groups are just as incompatible. There's no way we can cooperate now. But no, Ranmaru totally did that for a reason, though. He didn't just do it to, like... The air is chilly. We've been torn apart too far to walk back and compromise. But so did Ranmaru just rip it up? He said, I won't let you. But I don't care about that right now. I just knew why he'd do such a thing. Exactly, Ranmaru. Don't fall into their hands, Sarah. So he is protecting us. Man. Because here's the thing. I do think... And we felt this during the time we were together. I do think Ranmaru and Sarah like clicked so quickly, and it's not just like, oh, we like Ranmaru as a character in the character design. I do think like the way they talked to each other, the way they kind of like not opened up emotionally, but like more and more they kept chatting a bit, discussing things around them. It really felt like the writing of this game really made them like instantly click together, and I think it was a really good thing, honestly. Like it's good writing. that made it feel that way. And like also as well, he probably just doesn't want to see her like sign away whatever her life is here. Hello, what do you want about? Just listen to me. Kana's looking so sad too. Keiji, what are you thinking about right now? Keiji's voice comes weakly from the coffin. And this is so sad to me. It's all my fault. Oh, man. Weakly would never be the voice I would use to describe Keiji, right, beforehand. I thought I'd avenge him, so That's not it either. I tried to put all the blame on Midori for everything. And this is depressing because, again, this is like, a good person in this world who tried to do something right for the force he was on. And he got punished for being a good police officer, He got punished for actually doing why he should become a police officer, which is to protect people. But he got punished for that. Both for the fact that I shot my idol and for me not saving Megumi the first time. This sells to me the idea that he didn't go in with the intention of I'm going to kill Megumi. I think that his mind was so warped in that moment that like his mind wouldn't even, there was no other choice but like this, because the way he's talking about this now is like saying like, I thought I was doing something, I was avenging him. I thought I was doing something good for my idol. But he's realizing now that like, killing Megumi didn't actually save or avenge his idol. But in that moment, right, in that moment of mental torture, in that brutality that was in his mind, all he felt in that moment was this is the right thing to do. And again, I want to make it clear, she is an evil person. She's awful. She's the type of person that gets more and more people killed. She's probably responsible for more deaths in her police force than than most like grand serial killers. And the reason I say that is because if she's brushing things under the rug, then the bad police officer is going to be like, okay, so we know our boss will brush things under the rug no matter what. She is responsible for more deaths than you can imagine, right? So it's not me saying that, oh, she's some poor character or whatever. But I'm of the opinion, and maybe you guys disagree with me, I think that that her dying in such a way where she was ripped apart in front of Keiji, that to me isn't a good thing for Keiji or anybody else, because that is, that doesn't, how do I say it? I'm trying to make it clear, that doesn't help any situation, nor is it good for Keiji in that moment. To know that after killing your idol, your next encounter with death was letting someone get tortured and ripped apart, right? In the moment, it probably felt like the right thing to do, but like this is something that I believe is like the equivalent of like, when they say when you kill someone, you kill your own soul, like that equivalent exchange. Obviously, I don't believe in spirituality, but I'm saying like figuratively, it's like, you kill a part of yourself. And I do think that in this moment, Keiji in that moment thought this was the right decision. Fully, let her die. Let her just die, I don't care what happens to her. Because I think that anyone in their right mind, right, even if this was a corrupt, and she's a corrupt, evil police officer. This is just factual. There's no debating this. She is corrupt. She's probably responsible for more death than we can imagine. More, again, I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get tagged here in the video, but I'm going to go ... woo 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 brutality. I know it's so weird to say that, guys, but like YouTube tags you over the weirdest things. She's responsible for more of that than probably anyone else, because she sweeps it under the rug, right? And that is what's so important about this as well, is that yes, she is an evil person. But I think anybody who's not thinking like Keiji, anyone who's not tortured by the past of what their actions was, anyone who's not tortured by the idea of, this crippling feeling that weighs down on you forever, anyone who's not doing that, would save her almost like in an instant, right? Not because like, oh, she's a good person, but because nobody in their right mind wants to watch someone get ripped apart, right? I think we all agree with that. But that's the point. I'm sitting here in my comfy chair playing Your Turn to Die saying this. Keiji has not been in his right mind, has not been in his right state of mind. And again, it's not me saying like, oh, like, Keiji didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying that. You guys know I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that like we have to look at every avenue here and say that like the reason why Keiji thought this was an okay thing to do in that moment is not because like it was this beautifully morally, oh my God, look what I did something amazing. Is because in that specific moment, all he could think about was, I have to avenge my idol. Because his mind is destroyed. He is in another world. And I'm sorry for going. No, I'm not sorry for yapping, but like, if you, to give an example like of just something small, have you ever felt such anxiety one day that you can't even think? Today, actually, I'll give an example. Today, I was nervous about something. It was just something that I was like, I had to get done or whatever, and I had to wait to like record another video because I was like, I have to wait for this like response or whatever. You shut down, and that's such a small example of like just something that can affect you mentally, is like something anxiety inducing, and you go, what do I do? Okay, I have to wait for this. Then I got the go ahead of something, and I was like, okay, perfect, absolutely perfect. I can go on and about my day. If something like that can shut down your brain, and again, I want to make clear, this is not excuse. You guys know I'm not. I shouldn't even have to say. At this point, 20 something parts into the playthrough, you guys know. I'm not trying to excuse anything. You guys know this. I don't have to say this. And if you've been with me for a while as well, you know that's not what we do here. But I'm saying that, like, imagine those little things can shut down your brain. Imagine what this does. Imagine what this type of mental torture does to your brain. And then afterwards, you're probably realizing, oh no. Even when those were my own actions. Katara put his life on the line just to build a bond with the dummies, and and he's even thinking about Katara. This is a very, like, emotionally devastating thing as well. If I just die here, I guess I can't complain. No, we don't look at it that way. We don't do death for death here. What are you saying, Keiji? I ain't letting you die. Oh my god, Ron Morrow. Isn't Ron Morrow just the coolest character ever? Huh? We're gonna save you ourselves. Oh my god, we're gonna save you ourselves. This piano theme. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Without relying on Midori's damn contract. Huh? We? Speak for yourself. You still want to be buddies with these guys? We betrayed them first. We stabbed Katara. This is such like this music's great. This is such an emotionally intelligent way of looking at things and again, it's a dummy. You know what I mean? To be like, yeah, we were friends with them when we befriended them, they trusted us and we betrayed them. Then Keiji technically betrayed us, but he wasn't even in right mind at the time. I love Ron Morrow. And he forgave us, right? Now it's our turn to forgive him. You're trying to say we'll be even then? Ron Morrow is so cool. Doesn't it frustrate you? We're just Midori's toys. That is true. First he kills us, then he brings us back to be put in collars and used. We didn't even try to act while Sarah was and the others were fighting. And again, that's the thing, they were struck with fear. And this obviously bothered Ron Morrow. Being a toy to Midori, having to watch as everyone else is fighting. So scared to die that we can't even resist. That just makes us his puppets. But we're humans. Oh my god, Ronmaru. We create our own choices. Yes, escaping that moniker of puppets. Escaping the moniker of just like you're useless puppets. You're just there to be toyed with. Because I think there is like a direct parallel to the idea of like puppets versus toys, right? I'm not going to play along with Dory's puppet show anymore. Create our own choices? Understood. Man, I'm not stomping on Ron Morrow's convictions here. I understand. This is the coolest character ever. I'm sure I can believe in those words. Take my hand. Right. There certainly is a way to save him. Oh god, I wouldn't want to lie in a negotiation, you see. You swear it? As a floor master? But I think it'll be too difficult for the likes of you. I'm certain Keiji will die. I can hardly wait. He left. The most adorable sprite of Kana ever. We have no choice but to act. I guess it's not a sprite, it's like an artwork. I always call them sprites just from like Link to the Past days. It'll be okay. We still got time. Just so we're clear, I'm not going to help. At any rate, first we need leads. Can I say as well, once again, just an incredible scene with Ron Morrow. Absolutely incredible. The sequence of him kind of like, ripping up the paper and this built up frustration of having to watch as everyone's fighting. And now, being very emotionally intelligent, being like, hey, we betrayed them first and all this stuff in between. Like, it's really, really well done. It makes him such a cool character to follow as well. The fact that he got so emotional over the idea of, again, like, there's a reason why their dummies are like also like, relating to the idea of toys. Like, he's just toying with them, right? It's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing moment. And then also realistically having like all the characters kind of question it a little bit, and even having like, I keep forgetting her name, the pink-haired girl, her kind of be like, I'm not doing anything, because then it's realistic to have everyone just be like, yeah, let's do it. It's really well done. Oh, we're just, okay. Guess we'll talk to everyone? I'm not a toy eater, I'm a human. That's right, Anzu, you tell him. Which is why I don't want to die. I want you to understand, Sarah. So yeah, I want to make this clear. This fear of death is the same fear that we've all had. It's the same fear that made Kotaro not press the button for Gin. It's the same fear, in a way, that So had when he projected it onto the world. To judge these characters for them not wanting to die would be hypocritical as heck of me. It'd be hypocritical. Wonder what we should do. Mamoru gave a stirring speech to be sure, but it was a great speech. Damn it. Hinako. If you want to save him so bad, do as you please. Gotta look for a way to save Keiji. What's the good? I think you should rest now, Meow. That's right. Now isn't the time to bicker. Kana will do her best and think of something. Thank you so much, Kana. Big Sis Sarah, I don't want you to sign that weird form either. So let's save Mr. Policeman together. Woof. We will do that. We'll do that 100%. I'm getting a little more fired up now. Just hope we don't regret this choice. And I chose him last because he was like the biggest part of the scene. Midori won't save us. Kurumada and the others, I'm sure they know that. Keiji, imagine being trapped in here. That must be so terrifying. Inspect the cot. Well, talk to him, see if he's okay first. How are you feeling? It's kind of dark and cramped. He sounded a little more like his usual self because he's heard people wanting to protect him, Might have thought of a way to open this coffin? Huh? Open the map. Oh my god, Keiji being Keiji, even in a coffin. You know what I mean? Keiji being his usual self, even inside a coffin. In the center is the control room. Remember anything of interest there? What is referring to? I'll point to anything that seems promising. The collar? This collar? I mean, the collar Midori had on at first. We picked it up and now Keiji has it. Sorry to say, but it's not what I'm talking about. Okay, guess I phrased it badly. It's a certain monitor. Oh, this one here? Or these ones here? Oh, this one here. This monitor. I remember the screen. I did not check this before. I don't think I checked this. So blue, red, yellow, vacant. It said coffin control system. Could this be a monitor controlling the coffins on this floor? Maybe it could even open the coffins up. Seems worth looking into, right? Damn right, good memory. Guess we gotta go check. Please just hold on, Keiji. Count on you. Oh my god. Again, I think it's like hearing the resolve everywhere outside probably helped a lot as well. Really, really cool stuff. Really, really cool. Because again, then Keiji becoming like his usual self, like while he's in the coffin as well, you know what I mean? Like, because again, it's probably difficult. Of course, it's difficult to be yourself in the coffin. Of course it is. But him, like, still being his usual, like turning, but not his usual self, but like still giving us information even from inside the coffin shows that he knows that people are thinking about him right now. He knows that. Planning on going to the control room? Shorty, don't just come to Shorty. Did you forget about the collar pairing? If I get too far from Keiji, she has to stay. Yes. Right, Hinako is paired with Keiji. In the end, we're slaves robbed of our freedom. We have to kill our masters or we'll never be left free. That's so great. Yes, Hinako, that's exactly it. Because again, you survive this game, then what happens? You think they're going to just let you go? Hinako has the right attitude. 100%. So, the thing is, we cannot... Hanako can't come with us, but we'll go here. Yeah, Hanako's the right attitude, though. Let's go to the control room. So the monitor reads coffin control system. All right, Sarah, work this thing. Me? I don't even mind, but it might be better if someone who knows more about machines could. I'll give it a try. Honestly, hopefully my work experience can come in handy. You really gonna help her? Hayaka's like hesitantly works the machine. Huh? What's the matter? Could you look at the middle of the machine for me? Wait, this here? The monitor displays all the places we've been, like the cemetery and the library. Or maybe here he means. Now what's this? Gimmick security. Level 0 unlocked. Level 1 locked. Level 2 locked. It seems to be security for the various devices. I suppose the more important the gimmick, the higher the level of security on it. In other words, we can just smash the machine if we can disable it. If we can disable the security, we might open the coffins in the cemetery. Is this like Hayasaka's theme song? I didn't know you were funky like this, Hayasaka. Wow. But how are we going to find a way to do that? Well, what about this, for one? A fingerprint scanner. A fingerprint scanner, if we can put the right finger on this panel. Well, I'll be seeing a path forward now. Let's all put our fingers on it, meow. Everyone present put their fingers onto it, but there was no response. Think about it. It's gotta be Midori's fingerprint. We don't know for sure yet. Let's have Mr. Grill and the others in the cemetery try it too. No, Guitar's badly injured. He can't exactly move from there. Come to think of it, there might be a first aid kit to treat his wounds in the office. Meow, really, Suit and Specs? I love Suit and Specs as a nickname. I did work in the medical equipment company, so... The office, let's go check. I think I might have seen something there, but we'll check though as well. Again, I think it's another moment there as well where, like, you know, if I watched a YouTuber, and I think this is totally like a streamer moment where they'd be like, why would you try your fingers? Of course it's not your fingers. But the thing is, again, right? Let's say there's a steel door right in front of you and you're trapped and someone's kidnapped you, put you behind a steel door that you can't open. That doesn't mean you're not going to claw at it and trying to open it up. In this situation, it's like, of course, even if it's totally impossible and improbable that your fingerprints work in this, it's actually very realistic that everyone would try, in my opinion. I think it's very realistic that everyone would try and put their fingerprints on it. Do you guys say? I think so. You guys probably think so too. Like, it's a very realistic move. I'm just thinking of like watching a streamer and then watching someone play your turn down and them going like, why would they try that? That's so stupid. And you're like, ah. And again, I know it's like one of those things where like I don't want to talk bad about other YouTubers or whatever, but that's just like my personal pet peeves is like nitpicks about certain things that actually are like really cool. You know what I mean? That's a really cool moment that I can imagine someone nitpicking it because, you know, it's like, why would you try that? But it's a really cool moment there. Oh, is that it? It shows that they're willing to do everything and they're going to try everything. The shelves are full of documents and medical supplies. There really are medical supplies here. Whew, that's good. Let's take anything that might be useful. I'll help, meow. Obtained a first aid kit. So should we go back to Kataro and see if you can like heal him up a bit? Oh, mine's okay. Imagine stabbing someone, right? Because again, you feel like you have to. Waking up right beside the person that stabbed you and they're probably being super friendly to you. Right? It's probably a weird feeling. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Absolutely awful. I failed. Everything is over. Great sprite here as well. Great drawing, I mean. I've tried so hard to act harmless too. Well, you're acting that way? Don't go blaming her, Sarah. Kataro. Did I tell you we'd be real allies? What in the world? Are you being serious? You bet your ass I'm serious. Just give up trying to kill me. Instead, let's think of how to leave together. Kataro is like so inspirational this chapter. I don't get you. I tried to kill you, remember? How can you say that to someone who stabbed you in the back? Stop it. I'm horrible. I'm the worst. Oh my god, that's so brutal as well. Because you know, sometimes you have, like, and this is such a bad example, but I'm looking at her face here and I can see it. Do you know sometimes when you argue with someone and they don't argue back, or something, and because you're frustrated with something and you say something to someone and like they don't argue back, it feels worse, and you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? Not that you say something horrible, but it's like, you know that feeling where it's like, it's sometimes easier to accept your thing as something you've done if someone else is also like fighting back against you, being like, no, F you, F you, F you. And in this case, it's one of those situations where like it's much harder to deal with what you've done when the person that you've done it to is like, yeah, I don't hold it against you. It's like, what do I do now? Because again, it's a psychological thing, I think, for like Mai here, because obviously it's different from an argument, right? Because that's just feeling bad because like, you're like, oh, maybe I should take a look at myself and step outside things. But with like Mai, it's a situation where like, she stabbed Kotaro. She set up this whole thing. And now that he's looking back at her being like, hey, we're going to do this together, she's not even able to do the thing where like it's like doubling down and being like, I did it for me. I did this for me. I did this, because I had to. And you should, I'll do it again. She's not even able to do that because Kotaro's just like, yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, when I say that makes it easier, I'm saying like it makes it easier to be like, to hide your feelings and hide your pain about what you did. Because, the adrenaline's pumping of this, like, kind of like, okay, they're still against me. And I have to still be against them. I have to still live in this role of being against them. But the fact that you wake up and, like, the person you stabbed is being supportive of you is, like, it's tough. Doesn't change nothing. If I were you, Shiz, I would have done the same thing. She just didn't even get an opportunity to. We're all the same. Our hearts have been reduced to pulp. Pushed to the brink, we can only barely think about us being allies. That's all it is. So I'm going to make you regret it. Regret giving us new allies, that is. That's so sick. That's great. That's honestly great. A great way to put it. Midori, you're going to regret giving us new allies. Whoever you tried to explain to me, I just don't get it. Mai. So, I'm going to end the video here. Because I think it's probably inappropriate, because we can use the healing kit on Kotaro after this as well. It's going to be a great way to start the episode and give us some motivation as we start the next episode. I think I say it every single episode, but like, Your Turn to Die is legitimately one of the best written games I've ever played. And this is one of those episodes that just kind of like, solidifies that once again as well. I talked about the Kotaro thing not Kotaro thing, the Keiji thing at length. So, like, I think recapping it, because I took a whole section up, but I'm going to, like, I think just to, like, solidify my feelings on the whole moment there with Keiji, almost willing to accept his fate of death here as well. And accepting as well, and I think it's an important acceptance to have in this place, to be like, no, I was the one who shot my idol, right? I didn't get pure revenge by what I did to this police chief or this commissioner or whatever it was. I didn't get that feeling of revenge. It wasn't for that, it was to make myself feel better in some ways. I love in Your Turn to Die that they changed the context of that thing that happened there with Keiji. As we said, he still killed someone, and he acknowledges that he still killed someone. It was him who pulled the trigger. But they added the fact that he didn't mean to shoot he didn't mean to kill, and also at the same time too that Midori had apparently told him to do it, and they also put in a false report that he had a gun. As I said, in real life this leads to people dying. It doesn't make it okay. I want to make that clear, because police officers, as I said, have to be aware of the surroundings. It's your job to literally protect lives, and if you can't do that, then and Keiji knows this, that's why he's an ex-police officer. He knows he wasn't, at that moment, he wouldn't be emotionally capable of going forward. Reason I love this game is that this game gave us these new revelations of that Keiji was manipulated into doing this and all this stuff as well, and didn't put it on a neat bow and go, see, what Keiji did was okay, wasn't it? It didn't do that. In fact, it did something opposite, which is like, no, Keiji was like, I come to terms with the fact that, like, yes, I did something wrong here. It wasn't just the commissioner's fault. It definitely was Midori manipulating him 110%. But it's like, I wish I never pulled that trigger. I was the one to pull that trigger. And as I said, we acknowledged the manipulation. It was there. As I said, that ends up killing people in real life too. And that's not fair. It shouldn't happen. But I love the game never just takes a character and goes, they're perfect now. They're great now. It never does that. And that to me is something that is like so invaluable in a game like this. Because I think that it would be very easy, and it would be amazing still. It would be like, pure 9 out of 10 if Keiji, like, in that moment we found out it actually wasn't Keiji that shot him. And actually it was a thing where they lied about it and all this stuff as well. And something like that, you know what I mean? And we're like, oh, Keiji never did that, right? And yeah, it would be an amazing moment. We're like, oh, Keiji, I'm so sorry we doubted you. And we could go on, like, with Keiji, like, being not a murderer. But the fact is that the game doesn't do that. That's not what the game wants to do. The game isn't here to show you a bunch of perfect, beautiful characters who have no flaws. The game is here to show you a bunch of interesting characters that following them is like 20 mini TV episodes every single time you play the game. That's what it wants to do. But now this proves as well that Midori has been involved in maybe all of our lives. Because we assumed this last episode where we thought that like Midori was getting involved with like all of our lives. This to me proves that he was, right? To me, like the fact that he got involved in Keiji's life, it is definitely factual, for sure. That he's getting involved in some ways in everyone else's lives as well. I think that's obviously terrifying, but again, I always have to like do that where it's like, man, that's terrifying, but at the same time too, it's like that's that mystery and that fear and that horror element that adds to that as well is so really well written as well. It adds such a layer of horror to it that like makes you so paranoid as well. And make no mistake about it here, this isn't a situation where like Midori's Batman and he's dropping a gun in front of Keiji because he's like, you did something wrong. Atone. That's not what happened there. This is emotional torture at the highest order in order to get Keiji emotionally aggressive and frustrated and to get him to attack. It wasn't moral. It wasn't this more like, oh, like you did so amazing, didn't you? It was an attempt to make Keiji go crazy. There's no other way of looking at it. And it's awful. Also, they had the moments here as well with the dummies. I think the way they've written the dummies has been so fantastic. Instantly endearing themselves to us, but then also like these moments here where like they're hesitant to even, not only hesitant to help out with the whole Keiji thing, but they're not only hesitant, they also stopped Connor from getting involved at some points. And I think once again, this game loves testing your judgmental nature, you know? Because I can totally see, and again, I don't want to just call out our YouTubers and be like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like I can totally see someone playing this and being like, oh, F the dummies or whatever, you know what I mean? Because again, that's probably like a natural response sometimes, but like we have the advantage, I think, sometimes as always of being able to sit back and be like, what's happening here, right? And I love to do that with games because like now we sit here and we go like, it would be so hypocritical of me to sit here and be like, actually, oh, these dummies are stupid. Why would they do that? They're evil. You know? That'd be hypocritical as heck. But the it'd be so hypocritical. But the reality of the situation is that they are in the same boat that we are in. They are in a position where they are also dealing with like some really how do I say it, like they're dealing with the fact that their lives are in the balance at all times, and they're also being paraded around as toys, as puppets, and they're being manipulated. They're being like, held captive. And I think, what Hinako says in this episode is like so poignant when she says they're only going to be free when our masters are dead, and that's Midori, because it's so true to me. Because even though like if let's say they do what they're told here, do you think it's just like, oh yeah, you get to go out and find a job and live in the real world? No. There's no freaking way. that these dummies are going to get to go off and live a lovely, normal life. No. They're being held captive just like anyone else. So them watching us and worried about dying. If Keiji lives, we die. Right? That's what they were thinking in that moment. If Keiji kills Midori, we die. So them not wanting to help is not something I would ever judge them for. Just like Kotaro not judging Mai at the end, there is such a beautiful moment too, because again, everybody is in the same boat here. Everybody has to deal with the fact that they could die in an instant. And as we said, like, we've had moments in this game where like characters through fear have done stuff that like they're probably not proud of. We look at a character we love now, Shin Sukumi, right? Who used all of his inward pain and his fear of dying and his fear of being killed by Sarah and projected it onto the world to the point that, like, you know, he wasn't able to have a really big, good relationship with most of the people in the game, but had it with a few people. And that was because of the anxiety over dying. The idea, possibility of dying. I know there's more to that with the percentages and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that feeling of like, I could die here. Kotaro, I could die here if I press this button. There is that genuine... Now, look at now, one of the most precious people in the world. What did she do when she thought she was going to die? She tried to bargain with Sarah to kill everybody else. That doesn't make now a bad person. That means she's under duress just like all of us are. And just like these dummies are. Because again, put yourself in the dummy's shoes. If Keiji kills Midori right now, I drop dead. I am gone. That's honestly, here's the thing. That's what makes the moment with Ranmaru later on ripping up the piece of paper so important to me. Because we have this whole thing where Keiji's like about to be set on fire and like, you know, he's being tortured by his past and stuff like this as well. But the moment Ranmaru ripping out the paper is taking the decision process out of like the hands of the humans and showing a olive branch to the humans where they are like, we're also human. We're not just dummies, we're also humans. And that ripping out the paper is taking the, once again, is a theme in this game, taking the weight away from Sarah. She doesn't have to think about this. Shh, rips it up and says, you don't have to, do not give in to these characters. Do not give in to Anasaru. Do not give in. And it's an amazing moment because at the time, it's so interesting because every single, and I love the writing of this. All the dummies think, oh, he did this because, yeah, he wants Keiji to die because we'll be saved. And like you have different severities of all the characters saying it. Like, you know, Hanako's like, yeah, he has to die, and so does our what's his name, Kuramura says it too. Anzu's like, I just want to survive, I want to live. But Ranmaru, the reason he actually did it was very simple. He did it because he didn't want to be slaves to these people anymore. And he very emotionally, intelligently says, yeah, we betrayed them first. We made friends with them. We were companions. We hung out with each other. We protected each other. And then we betrayed them by lying to them. So then when they turned around and Keiji unintentionally technically betrayed them after the olive branch. Because he didn't intend to be like, I'm going to kill these dummies. It's like, I'm going to kill Hiyori, right? It's very emotionally mature for him to understand that in that moment and be like, yeah, we betrayed you first. And also like, this is what they want. They want this to happen. It's like a division that happens here as well. It's a really amazing moment for Ranmaru. And again, I always liked him as a character, but it's like, we grow to like him even more when we're going through this game. He's fantastic. He's a really fantastic addition to the game. They all are. The new dummies are so fantastic in this game as well. And again, even at the end, there are all the different personalities on display, right? Mai is like frustrated that he's not angry with her because she's confused. As I said, in your mind, you want someone to be angry because you're kind of like, that justifies my anger maybe in some ways. Or justifies, like, maybe it makes me feel better about like my actions because then it's like, well, he was going to kill me, right? Then you have Hinako, who's just like kind of like very distant from it, but it's like, hey, we got to do something about this. You have Anzu, who's not like totally sold on the entire idea, but she's like, yeah, I just want to survive. It's not about totally saving Keiji right now. It's just survival. I'm scared. It's really well done. It's not just like all of a sudden everyone's united. It's like there's still a bit of a caginess to it, but it works really well. And I think that resolve that Keiji heard from the coffin is what made him kind of like very happy to help in some ways. It's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. I genuinely like think that this is just like one of the most brutally well-written games ever. It just is. It just really is. The fact that like at the end of every episode here, I'm just kind of like sitting here shook for a bit, no matter what happens, is talent for this game as well. And yeah, as I said, it's one of those situations where like I'm happy with what Ron Maro did. I loved that all these characters kind of uniting together in some ways, even if it's like still that trepidation. I love that like very realistically, everyone was held back by the fear of what could happen in this moment as well to everyone. I think that's a really, really well written way of doing it. All of it like works really well for me, to the point that I'm coming away from this like just being like very impressed again with all the stories going on here. We now are aiming towards healing Kotaro and also trying to find a way to open that coffin so Keiji doesn't get burnt alive. And that's probably like the biggest aim we're going for now as well. I love to end all this discussion. The ending line that I love the most out of all of this is what Kotaro says, is that you think that you've created some dissension between all of us. You know, he didn't say this exactly, I'm paraphrasing like what he meant, but it's like, you've given me new friends. You're going to regret giving me these allies. You put them here to kill me. You're going to regret the fact that I've just doubled my friendship circle. And I freaking love that, because that's what we have to feel about this as well. It's really amazing stuff. Guys, if you want to see these videos early, you can do so on YouTube members or on Patreon, and that's for the lowest tier of €1 or whatever it is in your currency. If you want to see your name go by in the text credits, that's €10, whatever it is in your currency as well. If you want to hear your name read out at the end of every single video, that is €15 or whatever that is in your currency as well. Like, it's just a habit saying whatever is in your currency. You guys know it's whatever in your currency. No one's going to be like, my currency? What's that? But it's just a habit at this point. But I want to say thank you to the patrons first to the highest tier, that being Typharo2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Ewald, Anusta, Yassassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Neo Shaurite, Leah 200, Malcolm Day, and upping their pledge to the highest tier, and I thank you so much for this as well, Axler21. Thank you so much. And thank you to my YouTube members at the highest tier, Blasco and Lucinagi. See you very soon. Bye-bye.